Mother. Earthbound. Mother Earth. It's all of those things and more. The 2001 A Space Odyssey of video games. 20th Century Dragon Quest. A child's first JRPG. Nintendo's lost masterpiece. A transcendental interpretation of the human experience. One of the greatest games of all time. Earthbound is a JRPG that trades the fantasies of games like it for a more contemporary setting, an idiosyncratic portrayal of the modern world and reality itself. Basically, instead of exploring dungeons, it's towns and cities. Instead of fighting dragons, it's cops and hippies. Instead of healing with potions, it's burgers and pizza. Earthbound is both strange and familiar. Earthbound is cute and lighthearted on the surface, but dark and philosophical at its core. Earthbound is an emotional roller coaster, going from mysterious to hilarious to surreal to disturbing to heart-wrenching to then starting all over again. Earthbound is 3 identical stories that are both overarching and self-contained, about 4 kids with psychic abilities who fight the invasions of evil by harnessing the power of the earth and the love of their mothers.
Love you, Ma! I love you, Ma! I love you, Ma!
I love you, Ma! I love you!
今度、任天堂から、マザーというタイトルで、僕の、総指揮、監督脚本というなんか大げさな、触れ込みで、マザーという、新しいロールプレイングゲームが出ます。結構入り込みますので、勉強に差し支えないように頑張ってください。糸井重里でした。
Like most great games, Earthbound began in Japan in 1989 on the NES as Mother. It was localized but never released after being projected commercially non-viable. In 1995, the super sequel Mother 2 was given a Western release under the title Earthbound, but still failed commercially due to its graphical simplicity and marketing campaign that sardonically proclaimed the game stunk. Basically, they tried to be all like, Primus sucks, but it backfired. Nevertheless, it resonated with those lucky enough few to have played it, and was kept alive by a very passionate fan base. Then, in 1999, Super Smash Bros. Was born, and gamers around the world were asking the same question.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
Although first they were probably asking, how do you unlock this last guy?
Hey, motherfucker!
Interest grew alongside the internet, resulting in the online circulation of both NES's game and the first entry, triggering a boom in game emulation. In 2006, the final entry, Mother 3, was released for Game Boy Advance, but to this day remains exclusive to Japan, despite the 2008 Smash inclusion of Lucas. An unofficial fan translation has been circulated since 2008, online and on cartridge. In 2013, Earthbound was finally re-released worldwide on the Virtual Console, and in 2015, Mother 1 was finally unleashed worldwide as Earthbound Beginnings. And in 2022, both games were finally granted their largest potential audience when they were released worldwide on Switch Online shortly after I recorded this script.
That's right! You can't kill me, motherfuckers!
And that is the sad, underappreciated story of Mother Earthbound. Except it is super popular in Japan. I did not want to do an Earthbound episode. For one thing, I have a much juicier mother-loving video baking on the back burners, but more importantly because, according to this series' renowned creator, Shigesato Itoi, it's over. I made peace with this series ending the same way I've made peace with other series endings. So if I were to make an Earthbound episode, I must bear Itoi's vision in mind and ask myself, what can be done with Earthbound? This is another reason I was hesitant. Even though all 3 games could use a nice, big, beautiful remake, it just seems wrong. Earthbound is sacred. Particularly Earthbound. SNES games are too sacred to remake. You simply do not touch 16-bit gen games. That's like trying the remastered Hitchcock or the Mona Lisa. You just don't. They are timeless. They have become aesthetics of themselves, like how Black and White went from being tech limit to technique. Earthbound is already perfect and the SNES game, so I'm inclined to decline. Mother 3 is also technically 16-bit, and after X years of waiting for just a localization, we gotta pick our battles.
Motherfucker!
But
I actually find your mom very off-putting.
Yeah.
Hard on the eyes. Tough on the eyes.
And you know what else? Like super one note.
should Mother 1 be remade? NES games are not as untouchable as their super sequels. They're harder to look at, control poorly, and get infuriatingly difficult. Earthbound Beginnings particularly is troubled with blocky, barren, oversized graphics, balance issues, and so many random encounters it feels like you're being trolled. They make this otherwise important and incredible game hard to enjoy. However, it would be weird if the least popular entry in the series got a big, beautiful remake while its brother stayed behind in holy antiquity.
She's put her time in here, all right? The Lord makes an exception for her.
So I propose a half-master. Basically, just bring it up to 16-bit, like what Super Mario All-Stars did. Upgrade the graphics and sound, patch up the bugs and glitches, and make it actually possible to beat the damn thing. That way, they'll all be on the same level.
She smells.
I know she smells. Okay, you can't talk about my mom like that.
However, ever since Link's reawakening, I've been imagining how an Earthbound remake would fly in that art style. It's very plastic and toy-like, and there's two schools of thought whether it fits Zelda, and I kinda see the points on both sides. But for Earthbound, it would be a perfect match. And there are lots of quality of life features they can fix up, like the inventory system and RNG, but still, it just feels wrong. Sacrilegious. Would it even feature isometric graphics? Name one modern game out there with an oblique camera angle where you control 4 characters in a line. Oh my god, okay, yeah, do it. I almost vomited when making that title card. I hate that word. It's among the words that I hate, but I'm not talking about shot glasses and beach towels. There's some specific things I think Earthbound fans would die and or kill for. A Dark Horse encyclopedia. The world of Earthbound is one of the richest ever created. They couldn't even sell the game without including the most creative player's guide ever made. These gaming tomes are simply amazing, and an Earthbound one would make me one happy
Motherfucker!
My first impulse was to say a film for each game. It sounds like the best trilogy ever, but you know what sounds way better? An Earthbound anime. Most anime are already about kids with powers doing things way too dangerous and epic for their age. Porky Mint for Smash, and a Nintendo Echo for NES.
You jive, mother!
Also, fuck it, shot glasses, baseball bats, yo-yos, clothing, backpacks, and last but not least, a vinyl and MP3 OST. Yeah, I know they already sell that on Fangamer, but it's under 20 tracks and it brings me to my next 3 points. 1, why the hell does Nintendo still not sell their music on iTunes? 2,
Why do we never play Nightcrawlers anymore?
and 3, Nintendo should team up with Fangamer to distribute and possibly even manufacture all this stuff. I mean, who better than the guys behind the fan translation of Mother 3 and this labor of love? NES being an OG Smash fighter may have been what exposed most of us to the existence of this franchise, but if it wasn't for the dedication of the original Earthbound community, this game might still be forgotten. The Mother fanbase is the only audience to which Nintendo truly owes a debt. The only reason Earthbound is profitable and legendary now is because they kept it alive.
You owe me some money, motherfucker!
These guys congregated around starmen.net like hippies at Burning Man, which spun off Fangamer. That's fucking crazy. That's a legit business. I buy shit from there. And Nintendo selling Earthbound merch through it would feel so full circle. Or They could just keep doing that Hobonichi Mother project. That's cool too.
僕ですか？
泣けるなんかあんなうるっとくると思わなかった。
I was hoping it would not come to this. I was hoping that by the time I did this episode, Mother 3 would have been long released, even though that would have given me less reason to do the episode. And I was thinking after Earthbound Beginnings, it was only a matter of time. But the year is 2020X. Reggie has retired.
Do you think that the West will ever be able to receive Mother 3?
And we have still yet to receive a localization for Mother 3. The third and final Earthbound. And hands down the saddest story ever spun by the guys who usually do this. So what on earth keeps them bound from localizing it?
No, I'm sorry. I think that for whatever reason, it's just not grabbing me right now.
Not grabbing you? My mom is dying!
But you won't listen, would you, ma? Would you?
You know, lots of dams and craps and bastards, but they could easily replace those with dangs and shoots and idjits. The toilet dungeon.
What is it with fountains?
Oh, then there's the trippin' on shrooms scene. And I guess they could do something like the magic cake taken in Summers, but that's another thing.
All fountain sculptors are pedophiles.
The idea that Mother 3 is too risque doesn't fly with me, because Mother 2 is just as controversial. And they're both generally dark and sad stories beneath the surface. They censored the localizations of the first two games. They can do that one last time, and I don't want them to, but I can see why they would. You know, it's family-friendly Nintendo, and aesthetically, it does look like a kid's game, though I feel stupid just at the thought of someone who can beat challenging JRPGs as a child. Although I still really wish they would not censor these games and just slap them with a T rating like Metroid or Smash.
This speech is too graphic.
It needs to be graphic to get their attention. This bitch is driving me crazy.
I'm sorry.
Call me crazy, but I feel like a game that parodies Western civilization should be given a Western localization. Come on, Nintendo. It's time. It's been time. Localize Mother 3 and give us Earthbound
Aftermath.
English, motherfucker!
When it comes to the Mother series, Nintendo's been acting like a real bunch of... I honestly don't know what the future holds for Earthbound. If anything, they won't make new games. They could remake them, but they shouldn't. But if they did, I would totally buy them. The only proper thing to do is port them, again and again, forever and ever. Maybe for a console as special as the Switch, release a collector's edition with a poster, an art book, a reissue of the included player's guide, a soundtrack, a Franklin badge, a scratch and sniff, and a physical copy with all 3 games. Because yes, these old-ass, hard-ass, no more than 16-bit-ass games are that fucking special. Earthbound rests among the great relics of human culture. It is one of the greatest games of all time and the greatest cult classic game. It inspired things from Undertale to South Park. There was once a time where Earthbound could have been the great Nintendo JRPG, but it didn't quite turn out that way. This show is about my wish list and crazy ideas for all kinds of games. And I do wish that Itoi would be struck with ideas for a couple more titles, but if not, that's fine. And I do wish they would give the original a 16-bit remaster, or remake all of them like Link's Awakening, but if not, that's fine. And I do wish they could keep the series alive by actually branching it out into a multimedia franchise, but if not, that's fine. And I do wish they would finally localize Mother 3, but if not, that's fine. No!
Non-negotiable.
Earthbound is a masterpiece, and we're lucky to have it sandwiched by 2 more. So thank you, Shigesato Itoi. Thank you, original Earthbound fans, and thank you, Nintendo. At least I will thank you when I go from feeling like this
Did you fuck my mom?
to this.
Do not be afraid, Earthbound people. I am not a monster.